Hello and welcome, everyone. We are here, Bemp on the Spot. I'm your host, Brittni Lawrence. For those of you, if this is your first time viewing our stream, welcome. We are so happy that you guys are here to join us. Feel free to go ahead and click that follow button on our Facebook page as well as our Instagram page. That is going to be Bemp on the Spot for both of them. And then also, while you're there, you guys can also follow our other page, Bemp Corporation, on Facebook and Instagram. We do also upload all of our videos to YouTube as well. So just in case that you do miss it, we upload them to Facebook and YouTube. So you guys can always go ahead and see it there as well. Super excited for all of our returning viewers. So thankful that you guys are a part of our family. And then we're just here, to bring you guys our empowered buyers, all of this wonderful information. Today, we have the Black business owner, Erica Stevens, and she's going to be talking with us about her journey to vegan and plant-based lifestyle. And we're super excited to have her here. Within just a few moments, I'm actually going to bring her in so you guys can all meet her.
Hello.
Hi, Erica. How are you?
I'm fine.
Awesome. I'm super excited to learn more about your journey and basically just, the plant-based lifestyle that you do live. I do have some family members that are, living that plant-based lifestyle and some who are not. So I have my own questions that I'm excited to ask you as well.
Oh, good.
Yes. But without further ado, how did you get started on your path?
I started due to my daughter. At the time she was 13 years old, and she really was hating life. She was the child that always had that incredible smile on her face, but inside she just was not happy at all. So she actually put a complaint in, which I didn't even know you could email DHR, which is Child Protective Services, when we lived in Florida, and so they came knocking at the door, and I was like, "What do you want?" And so, they said, "Well, we need you to come down and meet us." So we went down there. Jordan went in first. They interview all the kids, and everybody was like, "No, no, no." So there was like, and kind of find out my son had been telling me, that she emailed, and I was like, "Okay." So he went and got his tablet. She had set up an email account and everything. So we went and I showed it to the lady. I'm like, "Here's the complaint. The first child you spoke to is the one that, and they were like, "Well, did you do this?" And they were like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Why?" And she just was like, "I just need to talk to somebody." So we started going, took her to therapy and stuff. And that's when she told the therapist during the first session she didn't want to live anymore, which was like, heartbreaking to us as parents, because we have moved heaven and earth for all four of our kids. And that was pretty heartbreaking. So we took her to she told us we had to take her to the hospital, because she made that, saying that she wanted to kill herself. So she was put on a hold. They kept her for like 8 days, which was extremely hard for us because our kids have never been away from us for even a night. So, so that started the whole thing. So that was about 7.5 years ago. We started down that roller coaster. She was hospitalized. We went to the hospital about 9 times with suicidal thoughts. They hospitalized her about 6 or 7 times. And then 2 of them, they just sent her home and said, "No, she's just, playing. She needs to go home." So when it was 2.5 years of that. So I just, I was just praying, and I was in a group of sisters, and they were like, "We're just going to, ask for somebody to be put in your path that'll help you along the way." And so I had a sister that she was an herbalist, and she was, and I had actually a couple of sisters. One told me that I need to get her off meat and dairy. And I was like, "Well, what else is left after meat and dairy? Like, we can't eat soup and salads for the rest of our life. Like, what is there left to eat?" And so she sent me some recipes, and she talked to me, and, she just kept me encouraged and all of that. So I was like, okay. So I know I need to get her off meat and dairy. Then I had another sister that said I need to change her name, because there's value in names, whether we believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the name Jordan, which was the name we gave her, means to descend, which is like what her behavior was doing.
Okay.
So we had a naming ceremony for her where we now call her Aaliyah, which means to ascend, because we want her behavior to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Um, and we did that. And during her last hospitalization, me and her sister, because her sister was a chef of the house, decided that we were going to put in some parameters. We were going to bring her home and we're going to do things differently. We're not going the way that the doctors have told us because it's not working. It's not worked in 2.5 years. So,
Yeah.
so we decided we were going to detox her. At the time, I was on 14 different medications for diabetes and all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to do it with her as a support, to support her and help her along the way and say, it's not just you. There's nothing wrong with you. We're just going to do this together.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. A week and a half, we did just soups. Well, not soups, but broth and teas, and we did detox, both of us.
Okay.
And 2 weeks later, then for a week and a half, we did that. And then a half a week, we did salads and soups. And then we started making alkaline meals, which is much more stricter on the vegan side because they don't use anything that's sort of GMO processed. There's none of that. It's a very strict list of things that you can make. So we made chickpea burgers, tahini butter, peanut butter cookies. We made all kind of stuff. And my daughter was like, wow, this is like, you could really make a lot of stuff out of, vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So then we've been that route. Then we sort of went just a traditional vegan plant-based a little bit because my husband, his health declined to where he was pre-diabetic. And so we had to get him on board. But the only option, he was like, you're going to have to learn how to make chicken because if you can't make chicken, I'm not doing it.
Like me.
so so we went, sort of like buying the processed chicken just until I could figure out how to make, his chicken the way he liked it. So eventually we got to now where I can make chicken out of jackfruit or cauliflower and stuff like that. Or even oyster mushrooms. And yeah, so I make a lot of we make all of our stuff. If you can plan it, like we have a brick that we ordered that we have our oyster mushrooms that we grow. So we pretty much grow, then cook. So that's where we are right now.
Oh, wow.
And it's been a journey, but it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it brought us full circle. Now we think with more clarity. And even Jordan, when she turned 18, she decided she wanted to, be an adult again and make her own decisions. And so she wound up going back to eating the unhealthy meat and dairy. And yeah, so then we wound up getting court ordered. And now she's off court order. She's gone back to eating the plant-based diet because she realizes that was what was working.
Okay.
So we're off medications again, and we're doing good.
That's awesome. I mean, I just think it's great that you were able to go on the journey with her. I know how difficult it can be to try and, do something by yourself, especially when it's something you're not familiar with. And, not everyone is into a plant-based diet. So it can definitely be hard, especially when you're first starting out, to make sure that you are consistent and you stick to it. So I think that you guys did an amazing job just from like going through the detox, because I'm sure that, whenever you're going through any type of detox, it's difficult on your body because your body's not used to what's happening. So
yeah, because even when I'm doing juicing now, I go from eating food to eating raw, and then I juice, and then I go raw, then I go back. So it was real difficult because we went cold turkey, like no eating.
Oh, wow.
Well, we had an agenda, we had a goal we were trying to seek, and I'm like, I'm tired, I'm done. I've done this for 2.5 years the way everybody said we should do it. Listen to the doctors, listen to this person, listen to that person. We got all of the input, but no resolution. So I was like, I prayed. I was like, I'm giving her back to you. Tell me what to do. Tell me what's going to work.
And he gave you an answer.
Yep.
That's
it's your
awesome.
daughter. You gave her to me. Fix her. Something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but I need your help.
That's, I mean, as long as you guys have gotten the help that you need and, you know, you guys are on an upward hill now. So it's getting better. And then what are some of like the health benefits that you guys were able to see? Because you said that you were listening to the doctors and, you know, what they were telling you guys had not been working. And then once you actually did change the diet, you can, you know, see a change in, you said, the clarity in how you guys were thinking and, you know, so what specifics?
I had, for me, I had diabetes. So I was able to get off all my meds and maintain my A1C at about 5.2 is the highest it's been. But when I was on medication, it was over 8 all the time. So they were like very concerned. I'm like, well, I'm taking the medicine. I'm doing, you know, what you guys are telling me to do. But it would never work. Hey, Jordan. Watching. But it never seemed to work. I also had chronic migraines. I had debilitating seizures. I even in 2017 fell down a flight of steps and landed on my head. Yeah, I rolled down some cement steps, lost my memory for like a year. And they told me it was going to take 5 years. But my daughter stepped in and she was like, because I was like, I want me a pork chop sandwich. I don't know what y'all talking about. 15 years ago, that's what I was eating, and that's what I want right now. And my daughter was like, no, we don't eat that. And I'm like, y'all might not eat that, but that's what I want. And she was like, nope, you're going to hate it. It's going to tear up your stomach because you haven't had it in so long. This is what we're gonna, and she nursed me back to health. Like she really did. She got in the kitchen. She made all the meals. She made sure mom stayed the course. And even my doctors were amazed at how quickly my memory was restored.
Wow.
Because of the diet, because they were working with other people that got injured around the same time with similar issues as mine, and they were still not anywhere close. I was back to driving my car. I knew where I was handling business. And it was interesting how quickly the body heals if you give it what it needs.
Wow. Yeah. That is just, woo, I mean, at this point, it's just like, this is your testimony. We all need to just get on this too, because there's just so many positive things.
Yeah. And like, I have radiculopathy, which is like nerve damage in my body. And that's been fastly healing itself. It's not all the way. Every now and then if I turn a certain way, I'll feel it, but for the most part, I could barely move. My range of motion was off. They were talking about I needed back surgery. And now I can bend all the way down to my feet with no problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all of this is due to you guys, you know, just buckling down and staying consistent to the plant-based diet. Wow.
Yeah.
What did you guys like? Because I can understand, you know, not eating any type of meat, but like, what's up with like the dairy? You guys can't have any dairy either.
No, I have a son that has severe asthma. So it causes him to have a lot of mucus problems.
Okay.
Even though every now and then he wants cheese pizza and he wants to go get it from Pizza Hut, instead of listening to me, he you know, because he's 18 now. So I was like, okay. And then sure enough, the next morning he's coming in my room. Mama, I can't breathe. My nose all stuffed up. Yeah.
Wow.
You eating dairy. So I learned how to make my own cheeses, and each one has their own flavor of cheese that they like. So I have to make 3 different kinds. Otherwise, they're not going to eat it.
Oh, man.
So we've gotten good at making the cheese, the milk. I got a deep freezer, so now I made sausages. I cooked some this morning, sausage links. So we're getting there. Eventually we're going to be doing some wholesaling with it. So that's where we are now. Yep.
That's great. And then, like, how long does it take you to like actually, since you say that each of them eats their own specific cheese, how long does it take you to prepare that in advance? Because I know that you probably put it in the different foods that you make.
I do all of my prepping pretty much 1 day a week. So, and then I can, now that I have more space in the freezer, because I used to just have a regular freezer. So it's like you can't put more than a week worth of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So now I can do maybe a month's worth.
So
Yeah.
you guys just have it all stocked up. And then
Yep,
that's
working on stocking it. Yep.
so you guys can just, you go in the kitchen, you're just like, oh, I want to make this. And then you kind of have all of the ingredients pre-prepared and you just, throw them in how anyone else would throw in all the ingredients to make their dishes.
Oh yeah. And now we have a dehydrator. So I dehydrate some stuff now, like jerky and stuff, because my husband's a beef jerky fanatic.
I mean, it's
good. He likes beef jerky. Haven't found one for the skins, the pork rinds that he used to like. I'm like, I ain't figured that one out yet, but give me time.
You're working on it. You're working hard.
So I just pretty much make what we used to eat all the time, but just make it vegan. And that's what I do for a lot of clients. Like I have a group that I have that are my direct sell customers, and they're able to be in a group and basically, come up with ideas that they want me to make that's not necessarily in the book, but just stuff that they traditionally eat. Like we made jambalaya with stuffed peppers the other day.
Oh, that sounds good.
And it was a lot of fun. And my husband was like, the flavor was outstanding. But I'm able to just, change menus just like that, change ingredients. I could see something on TV and be like, oh, okay, I know what'll work for that. And I've gotten that good.
That's a skill. That's a skill. Not everyone has that. So
nope.
And then what do you guys do if, like you're really craving, like you have like a craving and that's not in the diet, or, you have a feel for something that's not exactly in the plant-based, but are you guys like eating it, or you're just like, no, strictly you'll find another substitute?
I haven't found anything that I can't make. I've even made a roast that, yeah. So I'm very versatile in what I make. Plus I have a daughter that's in culinary school. So she's learning how to make all kind of different stuff as well. So we haven't come across anything quite yet. We even make shrimp. I made like a shrimp Creole type dish that I put over grits the other day. So yeah.
So you guys just seem like you just have it all figured out over there. I'm like, man, there is nothing that I can tell her. Like, so what do you do for this? Well, I'm glad you asked. We do this, and it's just like, okay, y'all do this.
The only thing that we don't make a lot of is pastries, because we've never been. I'm not a big bread eater, and we've never been like huge on sweets. But every now and then, my daughter will make like a cheesecake. She's made a carrot cake, a German chocolate cake, all from vegan. Yeah, from scratch.
Okay, so I'm gonna just have to hop on the phone real quick so I can visit you guys, because I think that's probably the only way that I'm gonna be able to stick to this, because I'm shocked. Like, okay, no one tells you all this stuff. Like, usually, when you hear about vegan, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna have this piece of, bread or toast and just put a little bit of this on it and have my plants, or like I'm gonna do a grazing meal where it's like nuts and but you guys are eating all the meals that I'm eating, but yours are healthy and mine are just, it's gonna have me in the bathroom probably later in the night, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, we even made in the cooking class Salisbury steak with mushroom gravy, and we made it out of walnut meat.
Wow.
And a lot of people in the group, I have two that just started into the vegan lifestyle. So they were amazed. They were like, I didn't know you could make meat from nuts. And I was like, yeah. And they said, and it tastes like meat. And I'm like, yeah.
I'm sure they're shocked, as I would be, because I've tried like even to have like different milks. My mom does not like when we would drink the whole milk. So she would try to, transition us to like try almond milk. And I was just never someone that really liked that type of stuff. But I mean, all these different foods that you're describing, we have some pictures here. I mean, it just
that's the shrimp Creole that I made the other morning.
And that looks like it has a lot of flavor in there. Like it's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
when you can look at something and it's just like, ooh, it's not, too dark. They probably went a little bit light with the seed. No, this looks hefty. Like it's gonna fill me up.
Mm-hmm. And that's made from hearts of palm. So it's
Oh,
like the heart of a palm tree. Yep.
wow.
And it gives you
I
that
would have
fishy
never
taste.
guessed. I would have never guessed.
That's why everybody's like, what did you use for the shrimp? I'm like, hearts of palm. I've never heard of that. And I'm like, yeah, it's that's what I make my po' boy sandwiches out of and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And like we're gonna be making, that's my sausage that I made.
Oh, nice.
And I use a vegan casing that I found with the company. And yep,
Okay, so you guys are like,
vegan,
oh,
vegan. Yeah.
like, some people say like, oh yeah, I'm vegan. And then you start to like ask them questions and they're just kind of like, well, it's like, no, you guys have everything prepared, set
Mm-hmm.
up. I mean, you guys are obviously educating people on what it is to live a vegan lifestyle and helping them to, stay on track and stay consistent.
Yep.
That's definitely one of the things that I struggle with, is the consistency and making sure that, you guys are doing what you need to do. And I actually do have a copy of your cookbook here, and I was looking through it.
Yay!
You guys, y'all need to grab this. And I was looking through it. You have breakfast, you have entree, you have dinner, dessert. And I was just like, wow, these things look so delicious. I was ready to just, okay, I know what I'm making for dinner tonight.
And even we have condiments, so even down to the ketchup.
I
So
saw
a lot of people don't think about ketchup. They're like, oh, it's a plant, so it's got to be good. And I'm like, not with all those additives.
Yeah, especially when you buy it from the store. If you do not read those labels, they have a lot of stuff that you're just like, wow, I can't even pronounce this, but you're going to put it in your body.
Yep.
So
without question.
Mm-hmm. But I know there was a lot to choose from in this book, but which one is your favorite dish that you like to make?
Ooh. I know Jordan's favorite is the enchilada bake because she has me making that almost every week. For me, it's probably the buttermilk fried chicken.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for chicken and waffles, and I saw it in the book, and I was just like, okay, I'm sold.
Yep.
You had me. I'll make the switch.
Yep. It tastes very, very good. And what I started doing that I didn't put in the book is I use a little bit of vodka in the batter because I found that tenderizes it, the oyster mushrooms, a lot better. But either way, it's fine. But that's why I tell everybody, I'm like, and that was one of our trivia questions in our cooking class because I do trivias and all kind of stuff like that. Like, what do y'all use for this without boiling it? And they're like, I don't know. But I'm educating them on different tricks that we do.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that with this lifestyle, we're not in the kitchen all day. Like we did Feast of Dedication recently, and we were not in the kitchen nearly as long, and we made at least 9 or 10 items.
Oh, wow. Yep. And you guys are just able to just pump them out, and then you're good to go.
Yep. Even made double eggs out of potatoes.
Okay, I love potatoes. See, it's like you want me to come over there. Is this how you get? This is how you get the people. I know.
Yeah. You can come on over.
I'm like, okay, I need to book the flight. I'll put my mask on. I'll just come on by. I'll even quarantine for a little bit just in case, so we can make sure that I'm safe. Cause
you'll be if you're sick, you'll be healed by the time you leave here. Between my tinctures and my elderberry syrup, you'll be good.
Yeah. Listen, y'all better make sure that you guys go ahead and grab this cookbook. She has it on her website. It's for only $34.99, and it can really just, take your health from
the double eggs.
Listen, y'all don't see these. I don't think they understand. Like, to actually come up with an alternative way to make food, but make sure that it's healthy and then it still has the same flavor as unhealthy food.
Yep.
I mean,
because otherwise you're not going to eat it. You're not going to stick to it. So that was a main thing of why it took us so long, number one, to write it. Because I wanted to make sure I had all of the recipes down. Because like the other day I made jackfruit wings and this lady was like, oh, well, just give us the recipe. And I'm like, no, that's not what I do. I make sure that anybody can make it before I put it out there. I want to make sure all of the trip ups, I can figure them out and figure out a way around them before you do. Because otherwise you're not going to stick to it. You're going to be frustrated and be like, forget it.
Yeah. So you just worked out all the loopholes already.
I take all the guesswork out and it's pretty straightforward. I even had a friend make the fried chicken the other day and she was like, do you know that you put the right amount of ingredients? Like, I don't have any more batter left. She was like, no batter left anywhere. I mean, I fried everything and it was concise. I say, yeah, because I took a lot of thought into that. I don't want any waste. And all of the recipes, all of the ingredients pretty much shift across the board. So you're not buying stuff and for just one recipe and you won't use it ever again.
Oh, all right. So I know I'm telling the people to go ahead and purchase the cookbook. I'm gonna go ahead and get one for myself so I don't have to take nobody else's cookbook, because that's one of the biggest things, especially, a young girl living by herself. It's hard when you have to go grocery shopping and then it's like you buy this for this, meal that you're making.
Yep.
But then if you want to make another meal, you have to buy a whole list of other ingredients.
Exactly.
So the fact that you're able to use the same ingredients all across the border, it's just like you really did think of everything. Like there's nothing that I can't. You did that. You did good.
I worked hard, and like I told him, it's a labor of love. It indeed is. And I thought about everybody, not just my family, but what would work for everybody's family.
That's perfect. And then are you guys able to still take in the same amount of like carbs and proteins that you need because you're not eating the meat anymore? So this is all of the protein that you guys get are coming from plants.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
And I also do consultations. So I'm actually updating my website. So it's going to be up in about a week where you'll be able to book a consultation with me. I also do in-person consultations if you want me to. And then we're also going to start doing meal plans in Phoenix area.
Okay. And then I saw somewhere that you also have done like live cooking so that people can actually see, the steps that you take and utilizing the ingredients and stuff like that as well too, right?
Oh, yes. We have a cooking demonstration that's done every Sunday at 3:00 Mountain Standard Time. I think that's 5:00 Eastern. And I give out the ingredients the week before, and then we join together at that time. And I tell them the day before, that day what they need to pre-prep for the cooking demo. And then we're ready to go.
Oh, wow. And they can like cook alongside you while you're. Oh,
yep.
Okay. I mean, you're literally holding our hand through this journey.
Yep. Nobody left behind.
Yeah.
And I'm there so you can ask questions. And then if you miss something and you want to ask me later, I'm still available. It's not like I just sold you a book and you're on your own. We're in this together.
Wow. I really appreciate that feeling of like a community. It's not just I sold you a product. It's like, no, I welcomed you to be a part of my tribe and we're going to get through this together.
The only exception is if you're not participating, then you got to go out of the group because you have to be active in your own lifestyle. I can't do everything for you.
Okay. And then I've been wondering, so if I'm, on a plant-based and I go to a restaurant, what are some things that I'll be able to order and still be able to commingle with, anyone else that I'm hanging out with that day?
So what I do is when I'm going to a restaurant, I call in advance. I ask, which restaurant, and I call and ask to speak to either the owner or the chef, more than likely the head chef, who's going to be on staff that day. And I ask, questions. Do they have a vegan option? The next step,
Mhm.
okay, if they don't, do you have a vegetarian option? And most have vegetarian menus. And I said,
Mhm.
okay, do you have something that you cannot put meat and cheese in, or meat and dairy in? And more than likely they do. And then I tell them what day I'm coming, what time,
Mhm.
and if they could, clean the cook area so that it's not been near anything that has meat. And most of the time, I haven't come across one that said no, I'm not doing that, um, because I'm giving them ideas of things that they can do. Because I explain who I am, what I do, and give them some ideas because that's something that they might want to put on their menu for later on,
Oh,
which would draw vegans into the door.
are you giving the restaurants ideas?
Yes, I am.
Are you giving them information? What? Oh man.
Yeah, I've done it before, and I haven't, but I rarely go out to eat. But when I do, that's
Okay.
pretty much the avenue I take. I try to communicate with whoever's going to be preparing the food in advance, and then I also call maybe a couple hours just to make sure we're all set.
Okay, so you do the initial call and then you just follow up just to make sure that everything's going to run smoothly.
Yeah, because I'm like I said, I'm taking this very seriously, and
Mhm.
if I get eat something that's not okay, that's gonna
Mhm.
be me on the toilet all night long, suffering in agony. So
Yeah.
you have to be proactive.
Okay. And then do you think that it's more expensive to be on a plant-based diet or is it less expensive than anyone that just goes to shop at the grocery store regularly?
It depends on what type of vegan you're gonna be. So like
Okay.
I stick out in the produce area. Occasionally I go to the frozen area and get frozen vegetables from there, but for the main part, it's mainly flowers and vegetables that I pick up. So we used to spend about $1,400 a month when we ate meat, and now we're under 600 a month.
Oh.
That's I have 6 grown people living here,
Mhm.
and we eat grown meals, like big meals.
Wow. And you
So
would think that with it, being plant based, you guys probably spend more money. A lot of the times people think that going vegan is more expensive than the lifestyle they're living, but that clearly
mm-mm.
goes to show that it's not.
No, not unless you get all processed. So you're getting like the crumbles, which
Mhm.
that costs like $6 to $8 a bag. When you can go get a whole big old bag of walnuts, only use a cup of it, and that bag costs you the same amount, but you have more in it because that one cup can
Mhm.
feed 6 people.
Oh, wow.
You see
So
what I
there,
mean? So
yeah.
you got like 4 cups in that walnut bag, but
Mhm.
you're going to spend the same amount, but you're only going to make one meal. Which one do you choose?
Okay. You're going to choose the more cost effective one. Those
So I
walnuts.
got 4 meals over here that I can make.
Mhm.
You see what I mean? So I
Yeah.
saved, what's that? 8 times 3, $24 right there.
Wow.
I saved. So it goes on from there. Like instead of ground beef, I'm making walnut meat. If I want to make like the other day I made meatballs with lentils. Well, lentils is $1 a can. Or I
Oh.
can do lentils in the bag, and I can get a
Mhm.
big bag, cook some, and then freeze the rest. And I can make meatballs, and that's like 2 cups. 2 cups of that, I can make enough meatballs for my whole family.
Okay.
You see what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah. Uh, the gears are grinding in my head right now, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, okay, this is just making more sense for us to really make that switch. I mean,
Mhm.
all of the positives that's being listed right now, it's just like, why are we not already switched? We're
Yeah.
living in the past right now. Well, I am at least.
Well, and that's a lot of people. It's because they don't know. They don't know
Mhm.
how to do it. They're eating the way that their grandma taught them, and that was me. I was like, I grew up eating pork chops and fried
Yeah.
chicken and, big old pans of macaroni and cheese, not realizing I can do all of that for a
Mhm.
fraction of the cost and a fraction of the time in the kitchen.
Well, now you know, and you're able to educate people and,
Mhm.
bring
And that's
more
really what
awareness
it's all
to it.
about. For me, that's what it's all about. Educating, especially our people, because we are very, very sick. We're very sick. We're the sickest people in the world.
Mm.
And a lot of us just don't want to let go of the meat, not realizing you don't have to eat it. You can eat other things and get the same fulfillment, because who eats meat without seasoning? Nobody. So you
That's
use a
very
vegetable to
true.
season your meat, but you won't eat a vegetable?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been guilty of it. My brother's been guilty of it. It's like we go and share our food, and then we get the meat, we get, the carbs, and then it's like,
Mhm.
oh, there's some vegetables, and we kind of like skip over it real quick and go
Or
sit
try
down.
to make a little spot of it on your plate.
Just
Yeah.
enough so that no one's looking at us like, oh, they didn't get any vegetables. It's like,
Yep.
no, this little portion right here, I
Hmm.
did.
Oh yeah. And it's important, especially for the younger generation, because
Hmm.
like there's so much young obesity. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like 3 and 4 year olds that look like they're 8 and 9 years old. That's not okay. And I was watching the show, and I was like, I wrote the show. I was like, I really would like to get in contact with this family, because I really would like to help them.
Hmm.
I haven't heard back yet, but hopefully I do, because that story just broke my heart, because the mother was like, I don't know what to do.
Mm. And those are the ones that hurt the most because
Hmm.
it's not that they don't want to take the step or they don't want to do what they need to do. They don't have the information or know how to do it.
Hmm.
So,
And there's been so many people I just given a book to. I'm not even, because for me, it's not about me getting, selling a book. I
mhm.
want to get the information to you guys, so that you can make those decisions and have a chance to change your life one
Yeah.
plate at a time. That's what my daughter says, one plate at a time. We want to help change everybody's existence because it's important to us.
And when you have that passion and drive, it's
Mhm.
going to take off because you're doing it with love and compassion instead of just, oh, let me make sales and let me see how far I can get with something. Like you truly
Mhm.
care, and people are going to be able to see that.
Yeah. I mean, we've given away to 8 families. We gave a cookbook, a gift card, and then also one-on-one sessions with me for free.
Wow. Just to make sure that they follow through and do what they need to do.
Yep.
And then I also did see that you guys have the elderberry syrup,
Yes.
and that one's like a very good for like immune boosting, right?
Yes. And we also have some that have sea moss in them, so you're going to be able to specify which one you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because sea moss is good. It has the minerals that our body needs as well. So those together really are a power punch.
Oh, okay. And those run for about $15, you would say?
It depends on what size. I think it's 15 to
Okay.
$40, depending on. I think it goes from 4, 8 to 16 ounce. So
Okay.
yeah, because we always consider the families, the big families, as well. That's another thing we're going to be doing with the meal plans. Because a lot of meal
Hmm.
plans just individualized, but we know that there's families that need meal plans as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to be, some of our prices are going to be geared towards families. So they're not having to get a meal plan for everybody in the house.
Oh, okay. And then it's going to work out even better because then they can reuse the same ingredients for all of the different recipes. And
Hmm.
hey, this is very like cost effective. It's very
Yeah.
health effective. I mean, there are literally no cons to this.
Nope. It's
Wow.
what's in our heart, and we just, and eventually we want to get a food truck, but we want to get these other things, because I believe in teaching people how to fish, and not fishing for them. I could have opened a restaurant first, but that would have only helped me. What happens when they don't have money, like in this pandemic? What happens when you
Mhm.
don't have money to go out to eat?
Okay.
Then you're going to revert back to what was cheaper, because that's what you know how to make. You don't know how to
It's
cook
easier.
because nobody taught you how to cook. Well, I want to teach them first, and
Mhm.
then, fill my pockets later with a restaurant.
Okay. I mean, listen, all of our viewers, y'all need to make sure that you guys are number one getting into this cookbook here. It has all of the information. We got some large print. I'm going to skim through because we can't give all the goodies away. But this right here is going to be your bread and butter. Like, this is going to give you everything you need to know. She has the syrups online. She does consultations. She has the videos and, the live demos that she does on Sundays. So not only is she bringing you the information, she's educating you on the information. Then she's walking you through how to actually make the meals. And then if all of that, and you're just like, you know what? I don't want to do it. You also offering like a catering option so you can actually make the food for them and,
and drop it off. Yep.
Wow.
And we're investigating going across state lines. Like, how does that work? But eventually, because I have a lot of families that live out of the state. So I'm trying to, like LaShawn, she lives in Florida, and then my mom lives in South Carolina, and I have my best friend in North Carolina. So it's trying to get stuff to them, at least the meat substitutes. That's the biggest thing. Okay. Trying to get those to people so they don't have to worry about that part, and they don't go and get the bad stuff that's in the cupboards at the local grocery store.
Yeah, because it's definitely tempting, especially when you don't have a home-based team to kind of help and support you and say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure that we stick to this diet.
Yep.
So I know.
And my husband, he's like, oh, I want some sausage. I say, here you go. This morning, he's like, you made some? I say, yep. What else you need?
Already had it ready. No temptation over here.
Nope. We're not doing it. Nope.
That is just, I mean, you guys are just an inspiration. Honestly, I'm actually probably going to try to look into all of this. So maybe I can get on, the plant-based diet, because I'm not saying I'm getting old, but when I was younger, I used to eat all the bad stuff, like back to back to back, like wake up in the morning and I'm having a slice of cake for breakfast, cereal and like pasta and all kinds of stuff. And then by nighttime, I'm just like, oh man.
Yep.
That's when it starts to hit you. And by then it's too late.
And that's what some people don't understand, how long it takes for food to digest. And when you're eating meat 3 times a day, it has not digested out of your system. So if you got meat on top of meat on top of meat, that's not a good feel. And like some people, one lady was like, I haven't used the bathroom in a month. And I'm like, you have not had a bowel movement in a month?
What? And she thought that was okay?
Yeah. A lot of people do. They don't realize you should have a bowel movement after each time that you eat.
Yeah.
There should not be a moment where that does not come out. It goes in, it comes out.
Yeah. Oh,
people, and that was Jordan's problem too. She, she didn't have regular bowel movements until we went to plant-based. Then they started what she ate, it flowed out like it should.
Wow.
But a lot of people are in that predicament, and they put you on all these medicines like Miralax. That's what they had her on, and that was harmful.
Yeah.
Very harmful. It's like antifreeze, and that's what they're giving people
to try to make them use the bathroom
instead of just telling you to eat right.
Wow.
And that's, and with what's going on with the coronavirus, that's why so many people are sick, because the United States does not understand what eating right means. We have all these, gurus in science, but nobody's telling people boost your immune system, eat right.
And that's important to have that strong foundation.
And you gotta do it for you. If you don't do it for you, at least, there's kids watching. Do it for them.
Because
they shouldn't be on diabetic medicine at 6. That's not normal.
Man.
They shouldn't have all these diseases that old people have at 6 years old. That's not normal.
And it doesn't even register that this is something that shouldn't even be happening, or they just think it's like, oh, okay, I'll just, do what the doctors say. And not everyone is going to take an extra eye to look into all of this information either. So that's
And
another thing.
And that's something I was very shocked about my doctor, because I told him, I walked in, I was like, I'm not taking this diabetes medicine anymore. He's like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to do? That's what he said. What are we going to do? And I said, well, give me 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, to start a plant-based vegan. And I told him, why, with my daughter and all that. So he said, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Like, he was very supportive. He didn't say, no, we ain't doing that. Do you understand what could happen to you and blah, 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 blah. He didn't go through all that. And that's what's missing. People don't understand you have a choice. The doctor works for you, not you work for him. So you need to make a choice on what your health is going to look like, because at the end of the day, you are all you got.
And if you're not rooting for you and doing what you need to do, nobody.
And when you look in front of that mirror, you're not looking at your doctor's face, you're looking at you. So what does that look like? And are you happy with what you see? And if not, change it. You're responsible for yourself. Change it. So,
I mean, I already feel wiser. I don't know about everybody else, but I feel like I know a couple of, tips and tricks already to help me so that I could just kind of, like dip my foot in a little bit and see what it is. And then I'll kind of, take the plunge.
There you go. And it's best to, make sure you study it. Make sure you have a plan. That's the biggest thing. Have a plan. Don't do it because somebody else is doing it or it's the trend or you think it's a good idea. Make sure you study it, have a plan, because if it doesn't work, what is your plan to get out of it safely? All of that. Because a lot of people just, I'm going to turn vegan today. Okay. And how are you going to do that? Oh, I saw all this vegan stuff at the store.
That's not the way to go.
Because number one, you're going to be hating it next month when you done spent more money on that than regular food, because they bump the price up on vegan stuff.
Because they know that people are not doing their research. So they're like, oh, okay, let me just put this on here. They're not really paying attention too much. They're going to go ahead and use it. And that's why they
pay $20 for a meal where you pay, 12.
Wow.
You got to research all of that. Otherwise, you're going to be very, very, very disappointed. And that, with a family of 6, there's no way we're going to be able to go out and shop every day.
Yeah.
And go out to eat every night, $100, $120. There's no way.
And especially with,
and that's one meal.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to do the other 29 days and the other, meals that you got to make?
That's, well, at least hopefully this, can open the eyes of a lot of people that have been wondering if they should be transitioning, or maybe they've already transitioned and they're running out of ideas as to what other, meals they can eat. Because especially when you look up, 5 to 10 meals, and it's like, okay, but you can't only eat 5 to 10 meals for months and months and months. You're going to get tired. So we definitely
would be the first one to tell you when we first transition.
I
was a egg roll queen. That's all I used to. We had avocado egg rolls. We it was like, man, this is good and all, but can we have something else?
You were the egg roll queen.
You know what I mean? I had them. I knew how to make them wraps. I had it down pat. So I was like stuck there. We were stuck there for like a month. And my husband's like, I do not want one more egg roll.
Man, and then you just got in the lab and you said, okay, I got something else. And you pumped out something else new.
Yep. And it's been moving ever since. I get all kind of requests and I'm like, I got you. Give me a couple of weeks to figure it out.
And boom.
Yep.
And then do you have like any different type of promotions or anything that's going on or that you would like to offer?
Not right now. I just finished one in November and December where I was giving away the cookbook and the the session as well as the gift card. So I will be doing another one. I'm not quite sure yet. Waiting for my website to get up and going. Probably be giving out like a meal prep week, some promotions on that and stuff like that, just to get started.
Okay, that sounds good. I mean, meal prep definitely works, especially for those who are doing exercising and stuff like that. Do you think that being on a plant-based diet affects like your being able to exercise, or do you have the same amount of energy, or do you feel like you have more energy now on the plant-based?
I definitely have more energy because I was anemic, very severely anemic. I used to have to take iron pills. I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah, so it's increased that. I even have a son, he's in boxing, so he's very fit. And my husband also trains with him with Muay Thai. So they do martial art training 3 times a week with their instructor. And you should see his body. I mean, it's muscular, it's built, it's big, it's puffy, and that's plant-based, and there's no meat. He's not had an injury where he was, where he couldn't move for very long. If he did get injured, it recovered pretty quickly. So
Wow.
yeah. So even people on, doing sports and all of that, they can do it on this diet.
I mean, listen, if you guys are in the area, make sure you guys tune in and follow so you can stay up to date for all the goodies she has coming. And then you had mentioned that you were going to try and see if you can come down to Florida and make sure that you can be able to reach your Florida customers as well, right?
Yes. So I'm coming hopefully early next month to meet with my business consultant. And then we're planning on doing a cooking retreat there probably in about May or June once we plan all that out, and also depending on COVID and traveling and all of that stuff. So
whatever is permitted, you guys are just gonna, tackle it head on and just try to do as much as you can.
Yeah. So yeah, whether it's in person, because I've gone even in North Carolina recently and transitioned a whole household. So I'm up for traveling. If you need that hands-on, yep, I'll be there.
Y'all heard it here first. Make sure you guys follow her on Instagram at BEREISHEET129. She also has her website, so you guys can log on there, get a hold of this cookbook. I mean, look how nice it is. Like, I don't think they can see it on here. It doesn't do it justice, but I mean, you guys, she has condiments, she has, breakfast stuff, and she has it all listed. So you guys can really just pick which one you like and make it. It's a whole list of different stuff. You have no excuse. She has meat in here as well. So she's going to show you how to make everything. And then if you do need that extra help, you can tune in on Sundays. She does do her hands-on demo. So make sure you guys stay posted for that. That cookbook is only $34.99. So it only costs $34.99 to change your life for the better.
There you go. And our website is getting updated, but if you keep track on our Facebook page, there's a link on there of how to order it temporarily. It'll be about a week, then we'll be back up and running. But you guys will be excited because we'll have all the meal plan stuff on there, and everything will be pretty easy to maneuver around. So
listen, as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to go turn my post notifications on for you so I can make sure that I stay up to date, and I'm going to try out some of these recipes and let them know how it is. I'm a sucker for doing like review videos and, giving my honest opinion on stuff. So I definitely look forward to all of the things that your business is going to be pumping out and all of the new information, and just you being able to educate everyone and have that great reach so you can really, let people know that it's not a lonely journey and they don't have to do it by themselves.
We're here and we've taken all the guesswork out. So it's pretty streamlined. And that's for you guys, because I know how hard it was, because it was scary for me, but I did a lot of videos. I watched a lot of reading, a lot of studying. I did a lot, and it's all for you guys. So let's do it.
And we appreciate you for that. Thank you so much.
So welcome.
Well, I'm super happy that we were able to have you on BEMP on the spot. I appreciate you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to educate me as well as all of our other viewers that we have. And I look forward to seeing what you put out in the future.
Sounds good to me. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. All right, you guys, tune in next Thursday. We're going to be having a whole lineup for you. So make sure that you guys are here on January 21st at 6:30 p.m. And we can't wait. Thank you. And then before I let you guys go, just wanted to let you know that February is going to be our Fashion Fusion Month at BEMP Corporation. So we are going to be having a wonderful lineup of people that are in the fashion industry, getting into the fashion industry, and they're just going to be sharing with us their journey and, just some tips and exclusive information. And of course, we're going to have some promo for you guys. So if you do want to get those discounts, make sure that you guys stay posted and stay tuned and turn on your post notifications. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Bye.